Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeanine Flores. I'm the Visual and Performing Arts Coordinator for the Santa Clara County Office of Education.
And I'm Jeff Schmidt. I'm the CTE Coordinator. So literally when we do this, it's the integration of VAPA and CTE. And that's what we're here kind of talking about today. It's not just the integration of the National Core Art Standards, the VAPA standards, the CTE standards, but it's integrated in pedagogy. And it's also integrating for a reason, and the reason being equity and access, hopefully. Also, we hope that you're going to come away with a little bit of a better understanding of what the standards are, what they look like, where they are, how they might be different. So we're going to ask you to role play with us a little bit today. We're going to ask you to put on your student hat for a little bit and pretend that you're students in your own classes while we run you through a lesson. And then we're going to ask you to take off your student hat, put on your teacher hat, and we'll debrief it and go through some other activities. So we're going to try to get it all done in an hour. So we do need some cooperation from you guys.
And you'll need a pen and your notebook.
And we apologize that there's no tables to work at, but we're going to try to keep the interactive part as functional as possible. Come on in, and if you haven't signed in, just come on up, sign in,
it's
grab
okay.
some stuff. Don't worry about where you are or where you sit. But we are going to start off quickly here because we only have 60 minutes. And we're going to start off with doing a protocol that is from the Common Core Language Arts Standards, actually. It's using the images complex text. So before we go there, I want to tell you, in your student hats now, we're going to show you an image, and we're going to ask you to go through a very specific process with us and try not to get ahead of us. The first step is to observe. So when we show you the secret image, you're not allowed to ask questions. You just tell me what you see. That's it. Yeah. You're not allowed to say things that aren't in the picture because you're observing. Okay?
And then the second step is to wonder, right? And just what questions does the photograph or image spark in you? Come on in,
folks, please sign
come
in.
up forward.
Just come up in front, sign in, grab some stuff.
You got good stuff? All right.
So yeah, the second step will be wondering, as Jeanine said. And finally, we're going to ask you to infer, which is to tell us what the picture is actually about. So I'm going to get everybody settled before we go here. So again, this is the process we're going to run you through. We're going to ask you to write this down. So if you need some Post-it notes, I'll throw some around. Raise your hand if you need something to write on. Anybody?
It should be good.
Nobody? You guys all have stuff? You guys
They
are
got
prepared,
their
man.
swag.
Right.
They got their notebook.
They got their swag, the notebooks.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to write down are 3 observations. We'll give you a little time to do that. So I'm going to say we're only doing that right now, just writing down 3 observations. And then when I say time's up, on the same piece of paper, we're going to ask you to write down 2 questions you have, and then we're going to give you a little bit of time to share with your partners, and then we'll take it to the 3rd step.
Okay.
Does that make sense? All right. So if anybody's never done this, in the Common Core languages, well, some of the shifts in the Common Core say that image is complex text, and it's part of the key shifts of literacy. So here we go. There's the image. I'm going to give you just a minute or 2 to write down 3 things that you see. We're not wondering, we're not inferring, we're only observing. So just write down 3 key things in that picture that you see that might help tell the story of what's going on in this picture.
Hi. Yeah, take one of these.
I'm going to use my timer here.
We're doing good.
Okay.
We're ahead of the game.
Try to write down 3 things that you see. Could be any part, any aspect of anything you see inside that frame. Raise your hand if you'd like more time to write down 3 things, okay? We'll give you a little bit more time. Now, if you're done with 3 things, go ahead and continue on and write down 2 things that you wonder. What are 2 questions that come up to your mind? 2 things you're just not sure about. It could be something you see, you're not sure what it is, or it could be part of the story of what's happening. Anything that comes to mind that's a wonder. Now, if this was my high school class when I taught, I'd be really nervous because you guys are so quiet. But we're going to make you make some noise here in a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Janine's going to pass out a piece of paper. Now, it's really important you use this piece of paper. Now, this time, this is part of the protocol. So we're going to give you a specific piece of paper for step 3. But before we do that, as soon as you get your piece of paper, and your neighbor has a piece of paper, go ahead and share
Come
what you
on
wrote down.
in.
What were the 3
all
observations you wrote
good.
down? What are the 2 wonders you have?
Please
Go ahead and
come
share
up,
with your,
sign
with your
in. We got
neighbors. I'm
some
going to ask
gifts
a
for
couple of
you.
you to
No
share out with the
worries.
whole group.
If you're just joining us, we're doing 3 observations. All right. There you go. Thank you. Hi.
Yes.
There you go. Hi. Come on in. I'll trade places with you.
Thank you.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, hopefully we have enough for
We're
everybody.
using a photograph as complex text right now. I ask people to write down 3 observations and 2 questions they have, and then we're going to go to the next step in a second.
Welcome.
Is that cool how the energy just changed?
Yes, right? I love it. It's like, oh.
Those are good questions. You'll have to ask your neighbor. I'm not really. I thought it was a burrito when I first saw it. No. I can't answer any questions for you right now. I'm sorry. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Yeah.
All right, finish up those conversations. Before I go further, I wanted to point out, did you see the energy change? So if you're a teacher and you use this protocol, so I'll just take off our teacher and student hats for a second. That's what happens when you use this protocol. The students are in the palm of your hand because they're just wondering what is going on. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. Okay, so the next step, thank you for participating in some great conversations. Sorry to cut you off. This part is really important that you follow the step-by-step instructions on this next protocol. This is where you're going to write down on that piece of paper we gave you, that blank piece of paper, in your own words, by yourself, tell me what is going on in this picture. Okay, so you're going to answer the question, you're going to write it down. And then when you're done, I want to make sure everybody's done, then I'm going to tell you the next step, how we're going to follow through with this protocol.
Okay.
So take a moment and just tell me. While we're writing this out, anybody want to share an observation that you saw? What was an observation anybody had?
Okay.
What did you observe?
We've never seen what looks like Arabic graffiti before.
You're talking about this
Yeah.
Sanskrit-looking graffiti? That could be graffiti, yeah. It looks like it might be. That's a good observation. I appreciate that. Another observation?
A sheep riding shotgun.
Right?
A sheep or a lamb riding shotgun. I like that. It's a great observation because if you don't see that, you're missing something big. Is there another observation anybody wants to share? Yeah.
The driver's side view mirror is white, but the passenger side is black.
Look at that. White. No, we got some serious observation going on here. Are you a biologist?
How about Julio?
No? Okay.
What did you see?
Preschool blocks on the left of the car.
Preschool blocks left of the car. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right?
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
I was going to say, why is it slanted? The whole scene is like,
Why is it slanted? That's not normal composition for a photograph. That's a good question. That's kind of a question, not an observation, but it is an observation. It's slanted. Anybody want to share a question that you came up with before you wrote down this inference that you're writing down now? I heard one question. Is he smoking?
yeah.
I thought it was a burrito when I first saw it. So
Yeah?
that's a great question. I can't answer the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Either one.
Can you say that one more time? Is it done digitally? Right. Okay.
Is it fake?
Is it fake?
I can tell you it's
Okay.
not fake. That's one thing I can say. It's a real photograph. Okay, are you guys ready to share the next step?
Yeah.
So I don't want anybody to tell me what's on your paper yet. Okay? What you have to do for this next step is really important. So I need everybody to stand up with your
Well-
piece of paper.
Are they ready?
Well, yeah. Oh, no, we're not ready. Okay.
They're not ready. They're still writing.
I got ahead of myself.
Yeah. He's excited, everybody.
Yes. Take your time. Any other questions anybody wants to share that you wrote down your 2 questions?
I asked, where's the light coming from?
Where is that light source
Yeah,
coming from?
right.
That's a really interesting question because there's light out here, but there's a different light in the car, isn't there?
Yeah, whether it's coming from what's near his mouth or from above.
It's a great question.
It's kind of both, but
Yeah.
the sheep is extra lit, where the neck is not.
Right.
Interesting.
It's like when you have to feed your pet on a video game and the light shines down on it.
So we do want to make sure that everybody's written down some sort of explanation what's going on in this picture.
All right.
Raise your hand if you need more time. Okay, we've just got a couple more left. No pressure. We're all waiting on you.
Out of the way.
Okay. Now, I would normally do this with a little bit more time and people at tables and let a lot more interaction take place and collaborative conversations could be taking place by students at the tables, but we're kind of running you through this part really quickly on purpose. Who needs more time? You guys about ready?
Ready.
There's one pin, I think it's just for you. So stand up with your piece of paper.
We stand up. Yay!
You might want to put everything else you have down. And then, do I have a piece of paper?
Here.
I can. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. This is really technical. Hold it out in front of you like this. You go like this. And throw it! All right. So here's your job. You want to read 5 snowballs. Find 5 snowballs and read them and then throw them again. How fast can you read 5 snowballs?
5 snowballs.
Read 5 and throw them. And once you've read 5, sit back down again.
Woohoo!
Once you've read 5, please take a seat, and that way we know you're done. If you've read 5, take a seat.
The next presenters are going to love this.
All right, how fast can you read 5? That's the question. How fast can you read 5? And then sit down. Want to ask people to share out?
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe something you read that surprised you, or share your own.
All right.
We're almost done. All right.
All right. I think we'll be back in our seats in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good job, you guys.
All right. It's okay.
By the way, that's the snowball protocol.
Snowball protocol. It has a name,
Gets a lot of energy in a room after lunch.
right?
It's also a way to share 5 thoughts real quickly and get 5 other pieces of information really quickly and get yours out to 5 people really quickly.
So, what did you see on the papers that you want to share, or what you wrote down? Can anybody share out what you guys read? Yes, ma'am. Camille.
Somebody wrote that there's a guy in a car. He must be high because he's in a car with a sheep or something like that.
Awesome. A guy must be in a car. He must be high because he has a sheep in the car. Right? All right, something like that. And thank you. Anyone else?
This gentleman was driving just down the road to go to some destination unknown, and he saw in this abandoned looking area a sheep on the side of the road, and figured he would pick him up.
Yeah.
Because his son's about to set and didn't want him to be out on the road by himself or get run over.
That's great.
Yeah. He picked up a sheep on the side of the road in this
sheep was like-
abandoned area. Yes.
Somebody said the sheep was a sign of something to come.
Oh. The sheep was a sign of something to come. Hopefully
Symbolism
a
in the sheephood.
good omen. Julio.
The sheep is called Uber in a red light district.
The sheep called Uber in the red light district. Yes, love it.
I want to
love
point
it.
out, for anybody using this in your classroom, if you're doing this part of it and you have your students share out what they wrote down, this is where you get a chance to say, well, what in this photograph, show me the evidence that backs up that. So making the claim, basing it on evidence, right? So
Yeah.
that's something we want to always reinforce. Well, those are some really good ideas, some good questions. This comes from the website, New York Times, What's Going On in This Picture. And if I click on it, I wanted you to see the website. So give it a second for the internet to catch up to us. They put these out like every 2 or 3 weeks. In fact, they don't tell you for a few weeks what's actually going on in the picture. This was from February 13th. And if I scroll down, there's some questions that they ask students to blog about on here, like what's going on in this picture, what do you see that makes you say that, what more can you find? Then it gives you some instructions that you can go through as a teacher. You can follow these instructions if you want to. But down here, it tells me right here what's going on in that picture. After grueling traffic at the Kaladina checkpoint, a young man enjoys a cigarette in his car as traffic finally cleared on the last evening of Ramadan. He was taking home a sheep for the Eid celebration in the West Bank. Okay, so all kinds of ties you can make to that with civics and religion and whatever. You can choose all kinds of photographs that can really grab your students' attention and really grab a focus of a new lesson or a new unit. So that's New York Times, and that's just a resource for you. By the way, you'll get a website and all of our slides and everything before you walk out of here, so don't worry about taking too many notes.
Another good resource that's on our website is the Pulitzer Center out of Washington, D.C. They also have great images as a text, as well as wonderful lesson plans and very interactive. If you want to use images, complex text in photography or...
Okay, so as my slide presentation opens up really slow, we're gonna take you past that now. That was an introduction to this lesson, just focusing on an image, right? What we do to observe, what we do to infer, what we do to wonder, and it's really going slow, but it's kind of building up here. So, as the second part of this lesson, we're actually going to put you in the driver's seat now and make you photojournalists. So, how many of you have a cell phone with you that can take a picture? Okay, if you don't, find somebody next to you with their hand up that looks friendly, and pair up with that person. We are going to show, we're going to teach you one concept of composition, the element of composition in photography. It's in the VAPA standards, it's also in the AME standards, the rule of thirds. It's also for videography, it's also used in art and painting and illustration. So what we want you to do is actually, we're going to go from just single image to photojournalism. It's still going to be a single image though. We're going to ask you to literally go out and take a picture. We're going to give you a few minutes to leave the room if you need to. Take a picture. We want to make sure that the rules are there's one person in the frame at least, so we don't want any nature shots. There needs to be at least one human being in this photograph. We want the photograph to tell a story. Once you're done with it, we're going to show you how to put it into a Padlet where you enter a very brief sort of annotation or a description or a caption, if you will. So that's what kind of turns it into a photojournalistic sort of assignment. So that's what we're going to do. But I want to talk about the rule of thirds first, and then we'll go through it. Has anybody here never heard of the rule of thirds? Good. The rule of thirds is basically putting a tic-tac-toe across your screen. A lot of cameras will have that built in, or you can set that to be on your screen when you're taking pictures or not. Research shows the way our visual sensors work, the places where the lines intersect is where your brain is actually picking up the most information. Also, we found that when something's right dead in the center, it's just not as interesting looking. So what we want to try to do is take our subject matter, whatever the subject of the photograph is, put them on the line somewhere, and even more ideally, put them where they intersect. So here's a couple examples of some nature shots where the photographer used the rule of thirds. And again, it's these points where they intersect. I have a really short video for you to show because we want to make sure everybody understands it. I have it set to start at 30 seconds, so hopefully it'll start where I wanted it to. And we can get away from the YouTube ad in about a couple seconds. Streaming always goes slower when you have a room full of people.
Yeah. YouTube, you can start the video anywhere you want. If underneath share, you can have it start at 12 seconds, any point within the time frame. It was a wonderful tool, and I was embedding that into the classroom. Because if you don't need the lead time and the front end of the video, or you just want to watch the second act of Hamlet, you can cue it up right there. So that's right on YouTube.
It's supposed to be queuing up at 29 seconds before, but it's having a hard time.
It's just a little slow. It's because we're so...
I mean, I'll take it where I wanted it.
Okay. Try.
Sorry. We tested it all out and it was all working great.
This is what happens in the real classroom. Right.
That's right.
Exactly, right?
That's right.
Talks
So-
amongst yourselves.
And any teacher will have a backup plan, right?
Right.
So I've got a backup plan.
Here's your topic, rule of thirds.
Here's
Go.
the backup plan. I'll just put
All
the
right.
video real fast.
There we go.
Okay. I don't want to make you wait.
Asking the photographer for basic.
Let me go to that. They're close enough. Okay.
All right.
Greetings everyone and welcome to Professional Photography Tips. My name is Josh Cripps and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Joshua Cripps Photography. The rule of thirds is one of the most widely known and fundamental ideas in composition. And while it's often thought of as basic composition, understanding the principles behind it means knowing when to use it and when to break it. If you haven't heard of the rule of thirds, here's the 10-second version. Divide your frame up into a tic-tac-toe board. Then place the important elements of your composition along those thirds, either horizontally, vertically, or on the intersection points. It's a simple way to start making effective compositions, but what's the real reason that it works? Well, the rule of thirds effectively accomplishes two main things. First, it allows you to unambiguously direct attention in your photos, creating visual flow. Start here, flow here, start here, flow here. Start here, flow here. If your subjects were more centered, your eye wouldn't know which way to travel. Secondly, and possibly more importantly, the rule of thirds lets you tell people what the most interesting and important part of a scene is. This is why landscape photos often put the horizon on the top third, because it's saying this photo is about the landscape, so I'm giving it most of the weight of the photo. And the sky, while it may be beautiful, is less important to understanding this specific place than the landscape itself is. So the sky only gets a third of the weight of the photo. And you'll see this over and over and over in landscape photography.
Yeah, but bro, what if to me, the sky is the most interesting and important part of the scene?
Aha! Well, this is where things get really cool, and where you realize that the rule of thirds actually has very little to do with thirds at all, and lots more to do with what you find interesting. So you do have a spectacular sky and a bland landscape. Then you should give the sky most of the weight in your photo. That's you saying, look at this. The more interesting you think something is, the more weight you should give it in your images. Even to the point where the sky or the landscape might become a teeny sliver in the photo. Or if you have two things of equal importance in your photo, then give them equal weight. This is why reflection shots work so well when the horizon is smack bang in the middle of the frame. Because the rule of thirds is not about actual numbers, but rather about balancing the proportion of interesting elements in your frame. And once you realize that, then your compositions will begin to show the world in the way that you see it. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel.
Okay. Thank you for putting up with the technology there. Any questions on the rule of thirds and how it works? Okay, so this is the part where we get to have fun and go out and be photographers and try to tell a story in one shot, and you will get a chance to write underneath it. And when you come back in, stop playing automatically, please. When you come back in, we're going to show you where to go on the Padlet here where you can post it. But I do want to, just real quick, I want you to see that. So we're going to be able to post this on the cloud using digital media, and then we're going to use that cloud captured pin board, if you will, on Padlet.
How many people have used Padlet before? Have no idea what Padlet is. All
Okay,
right.
awesome.
Woohoo!
So you're
I
gonna
get
learn-
to teach
you're
new
gonna learn
people
Padlet. I don't know why the internet is going
And
quite
you
so
got
slow.
maybe pair up with the expert who has used it. So
While we're
purpley.
waiting for the internet again, while you're out there, I'm going to probably try to switch networks while you're out doing this. But this is a great time for you to make sure you have a phone that's ready to go, and you got a partner if you
Let's
want
have
to have
them
a phone.
go do the photos.
And
then
here's
okay,
Padlet.
here we
So
go.
Padlet, and we'll show you how to post this. You basically just have to type in the link that we'll put up on the screen, and this will pop up, and you just tap that little plus signal, and this little window will pop up, and you can import your photograph right from your phone and type in what you want. So here's an example from Jeanine this morning, or yesterday morning, right?
Diz
cat.
the cat didn't want me to leave too much. I thought I was opening it up. Okay. So I try to use the rule of thirds there with my cat in mid-yawn. My caption is, "'Cause I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. Please don't go." All right, there you go.
Now, you can be creative and do what she did and use a song, or you can just write whatever you want.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll walk you through this part later, so don't worry about this Padlet part. But you'll see some great opportunities of how Padlet could be used in a classroom for posting internets, posting photographs, posting comments.
Video.
Anything you want to post, students can
Text.
put it all in one place and they can get it in the flipped classroom later. So, but right now, we're going to give you guys only 10 minutes
10.
to go find a shot and come back and we'll start uploading.
All right.
So,
And
it
we
has
will
to have
help
one
you.
person in it, and that's the only rule. At least one human being.
Rule of thirds.
Check your clock so you can come back. Yeah, use the rule of thirds.
And a caption.
And we'll put in a caption
But
when you get back.
captions after
Look at your clock so you're back in 10 minutes or less, please.
2:05.
Either one of these will work.
I'm Jay Flores. Nice to meet you all. I'm Jay Flores,
Flores.
28. You can have your extension when you sign it up, and then you can name the page whatever you want, period 1. Graphic design class. You can name it concert. And then the other one is just a Google shortener that I use, the URL shortener, because that's a heck of a lot to type at the top. So
That's right.
what also is cool,
They both
yeah,
get you there.
they both get you there.
But she just wanted you to see that in Padlet you can name your Padlets. So as a customized name on it.
You can also embed it, so you don't, if you want it on a website or do a
So those returning,
QR
we're going to try to get
scanner.
you into Padlet as soon as possible. The quickest way is to type in that URL right there. goo.gul. And then if you are successfully loading into Padlet, you look for the pink circle to add your own posting. Now, normally in a classroom, you would just have people randomly using their telephones to do this, right? You'd have a little bit more of
you'd
a
have
system.
Chromebooks or iPads.
Some sort of a
or-
system that you know is
Right.
going to work. Yeah. But we're just going for it anyway.
Hey.
We just thought we would go for it.
It should offer you.
Yeah, and you're gonna, it always comes up at the top. So let's go here. So this is you.
Great.
So title will be your name, and then under write something will be your caption.
It didn't even
And
save.
then you can press the picture, the camera, the fourth icon to add your photo.
All right.
All right. I think we're about ready,
Raise
Jeff.
your hand if you need the URL still on the screen.
How's it
Okay, I'll leave
going?
it up a little longer.
I put in the URL and
Yeah.
I got here. Now what do I
Okay.
do to put in my
Yeah,
photo?
yours looks totally different. Let's see. I'm gonna refresh it.
That's me right here.
Okay.
Hector!
Where'd you go?
Because this, it looks like when, like when the website doesn't
Oh.
load properly. That's what that looks like to me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna refresh it and see if what happens. Let's see. I'll stay here.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I found one.
This looks better.
Okay.
I'm gonna close that. Just let it load. It's still loading.
Okay, I'm
There's
going
a lot of
to
people
get off the
working
screen for a
on
second
it.
to show you how to use Padlet if anybody's never used it.
It's still
Are you
loading.
ready? Here we go. Boom.
Yeah.
So if you haven't tried Padlet, just and then we'll make sure we've got everybody caught up. And the internet is going in
It
and out.
is,
in and out.
and everybody's on the same page right now. So if the
If you
bandwidth's
have
not
the app,
wide
that's a
enough.
lot easier.
Well, I'm not
Jeff?
in the conference.
But in your classroom, then
I'm
everything's
still
different, right? So
probably
you
room.
would know how to do this in your classroom.
Yeah, I'm going to bail on this and
Okay.
get a different Wi-Fi.
No problem. No!
Oh my goodness.
You changed your network.
Setting. There we go. This is.
That's so weird. I can't get in there now. Somebody's going to show this lady and she does. Wow. Like, that's so bizarre.
So underneath that. Shoot, I had the login screen. I lost it. Let me see
No
what
worries.
comes up.
That looks good. Did you get yours
Everybody's
up?
streaming
Where's
right now,
yours?
so
Isn't she?
I love that.
it's not working.
Like I never get one
My
like
cat was
that.
pouting under
Yeah.
the bed when we left, so. No, I did this one. I have somebody with me, so I cheated right upstairs.
No, that's fine. That's great.
Butter break.
That's good.
It's like this, and then you let it
Wi-Fi, I remember.
It's AME 20171.
All caps. All right.
All caps, capital letters.
E 2017-1, right?
Correct.
There it
get-
is. Geez, that took a while. So there's all these really cool posts coming up right now.
Yeah.
So you can see how nice it is to get all your
So you
stuff
can
in one
just walk
place,
up
even though
here
you
too,
are not
Sydney. We'll
connected.
get yours up
and we're
there.
not
I'll show you.
sharing any type of a server other than whatever Wi-Fi we're connected to or the cell phones. So there's some good-looking rules of thirds in here. I see. I don't see the human in that shot, but we'll let it go.
I like the human in that shot.
This one looks really interesting.
That's
Now,
fabulous.
Almost made it to the pool. decisions. So I
Yes,
apologize
yes,
if anybody who's having technical difficulties, but
All right.
we are
Did you
going to
get
kind of
there?
have to move on here in a minute.
There. That's
But I want people to experience this.
What do I press? Put my photo.
It's this pink button down here that I can't.
Can you access the Padlet
see that
yourself and
little
look
pink
at
button?
everybody else's posting on your
Oh,
device?
there it is. Okay.
Because we want you to do that for
Now
the
we'll
next
go
step
to the
here.
top because the plus sign
And-
goes to the top. Let's try it again.
I'm going to pass
So
out
this
some
is you.
sentence
So your
frames.
title will be your name.
This is a way for you. I'm going to give one piece for every 2 people. So I'm going to pass a couple down, and you can work in 3s if you want. But I want you to pair
Good.
up.
And then for write something, well, that would be your caption.
And
So, you know,
we're going to try to get through this part quickly as well.
and then
you guys can pair
we'll
up.
add your photo.
Maybe 2 pairs.
You got there.
2 pairs here. We're going to share one piece
It's
for every 2
absolutely
pairs.
gorgeous.
One piece of
And I
paper
love
for
the
every pair of
sunlight
people.
on the palm tree
Here.
behind her.
Okay.
Okay, and now
guys
click
can
on the
all 3
picture,
share that.
the camera, that
You 2
fourth
can share
icon
one.
over there. You go.
Maybe you 3
And,
can share, however that works. Okay.
Choose a file.
If you're still busy
Try it
posting, continue posting. If you're done
There you go. So
posting,
you're going to take one
I want you to
photo
talk to your
library.
partner.
Yeah.
We're just going to go through a very short, very brief opportunity for you to talk to your partner about your piece. And if your students are not good at reflecting on their process and their piece, sentence frames are what you might want to provide them. So we provided
When
you
it
some
loads,
sentence frames.
click OK.
So if it's your turn to go,
You're
partner A, you're going to go first. You can answer any of these questions you want to talk about your picture and your process. This might be more involved with a bigger project, right? This is very down and dirty. But we want you to see what it's like to have some sentence frames. So try to use these sentence frames to have a conversation with your partner, and we'll give you a couple minutes to do that. And I got more sentence frames up here if anybody wants.
Yeah.
Sometimes my phone gets in the way because it's an older
Yeah. Right. It's okay.
one. A couple of times, I think I did that a couple
Okay,
of times. And then
okay.
I got my photo to go up, but I couldn't get the caption.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So,
if you add
where's
the
your
caption
photo?
Afterwards.
Yeah, you can.
I think it's still loading.
Okay.
Let me see. See it.
No, just do it again. He was having the same problem back there. That's where I was. See, there's that pink
that.
button.
And
But
you
it
can
needs to
delete
be
it if I end up with 3 photos posted.
and that's okay. As a teacher, you can go back and
Right.
delete
Oh, so
duplicate.
write something
So that's
now.
you. So the
Okay.
title is your name, and write something's your caption, and then you press that little camera for the photo. Let me know how that goes. Yeah, and then you press the
Photo.
Take a
press
moment,
the
talk about your
camera,
piece with
yeah,
your partner
that fourth
using the
icon,
sentence frames.
and then
That's what
press
we're doing.
done, and then choose a file.
Okay.
And then you're gonna add your photo just like you've
Okay.
done a million times. No worries.
Get whatever you want. Help
Yeah, we
yourself.
got lots of swag over there.
Yeah. How are we doing on time? 2:11. We're done at 2:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is where we're at. We need to
We're
do the
wow,
wall.
we're pretty close.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grab a chapstick, grab a notebook, get a pen.
All right, switch partner. We
grab-
haven't talked yet. Switch partner. Partner B, talk now. Using sentence frames. I know we're going really fast. I apologize. So we'll explain. First, we'll just show a couple. Then we'll explain that the lesson's over.
Okay.
Take off
All
your
right.
student hat. We're going to
Yep.
put on our teacher hat.
Okay.
I like this one.
This is great. There is a person in there.
"30 seconds. We're going to ask you to stop the conversation." Sorry. Yeah, you're just getting started. I know. I'd love to ask you a question. Just like, how would you use Padlet?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go for it.
Questions?
Yeah.
And then we'll go. We'll just split them into 3 groups after that real fast. We have 4 things on the wall.
Yeah, I know. We can just have. What's the biggest? CTE? Or VAPA? National Core. Let's
What
do
we can do is
National
we
Core.
can assign these guys one, these guys one, these guys one, and these guys can do any of them they want.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
They can even look in other standards if they want. Language
All
arts.
right.
Because we had sentence frames and we had images complex too. I don't know.
Get one I don't spill water all over.
Yeah, please.
All right, if you can finish up your conversation. Sorry to cut you off.
Dun, da, da, dun, dun. Dun, da, da, dun, dun.
Man, she's good. I can't do that stuff. My high school students are like, whatever. No, thank you. I hate to cut you guys off. Great conversations, but we wanted to at least have a taste of what it might be like to have that collaborative conversation with the sentence frames at the end of an assignment like this. So we're going to take off our student hats now. That was a very short, we cut it up and tried to make it happen as fast as we could. You can hopefully see how that lesson might have turned out in your class with more time and the technology you use and more opportunities for checking for understanding and student conversations and all that great stuff. But let's celebrate some of the postings that you guys had before we move on. I saw some really good ones. Anybody want to shout out any of them that you saw? I love this one right here. It's very creative. All you see are feet. Art imitating life. That's cool. Uh-oh, getting some weird prompts here.
I like the one in the middle, the top.
This
Middle.
one?
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. That one?
With the,
Yes.
That's really nice use of the
light.
space and the perspective and the light. And there is a human in there somewhere.
he's in the back.
So that's cool. Thankless job. Somebody's out there doing something at the end of the hallway. So really good use of the rule of thirds. You guys did great. So if I was assessing this, there would be all types of different things we could assess. We could assess the collaboration. We could assess the photograph itself, the rule of thirds. We could assess the story and the caption. There's all kinds of little things that we could do for assessment. But I wanted to ask a prodding question for those of you who've never seen or used Padlet. How might you use Padlet in your classroom? Yeah.
I use it as the brainstorm before our broadcast.
Great. So they throw ideas on the Padlet, and then you can see everybody else's ideas.
Very collaborative space.
Yep.
Awesome.
Anybody else use it? Yeah.
I use it to hold students accountable when they have to go out and do work.
Like this.
I have to put it up so that I can see, because I can't follow them all over campus.
That's right.
So, and I do it in PDs for teachers too, because often I'll send teachers out to video something and then, or photograph something that we're going to come back and talk about or work with.
Excellent.
And so again, I use it to hold them accountable so that I can see, and everybody can see it going up, and I'll talk about it as it's happening.
I love that. I used to use it as a scavenger hunt tool, so I'd let people do research online, and when you found the perfect thing, put it on the Padlet. And then everybody can go and look at all the other stuff people found, and then they had a whole resource of websites on that one topic that were already vetted.
Yeah, in theater they would put, this is my idea for the costumes. This is a photograph of what I want the set to look like. Here's some makeup ideas that I want. All in one board, the kid creates it. Also for collaborative research, doing a composer report. They can all put their stuff on there. They can get the images. They can put the sound clips on there, and very flexible.
Before we move on, what about the sentence frames? Was that useful? Has anybody never used sentence frames before? That was your first chance?
That's what you have right there in your.
Oh, this.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I taught high school and I thought it's too corny, they're going to think it's dumb, and I started putting little table tents with sentence starters, and oh gosh, I walk around and they were talking just like what was on those table tents. And I realized they don't always hear people talking academically, they don't always hear how to disagree with somebody in a respectful way, or how to agree with somebody, or how to express what the process they just went through.
Yeah, so it gives them that initial, I don't know how to start. It gives them that vocabulary.
So thank you for doing that. The next part of this process, you have your teacher's hat on, and you did a great job getting your shots, thank you. You used the sentence frames. I want to show you a website, because we're going to go there. I'm going to pull this back so you can pull this up if you want. It's bit.ly, and then it's easy. It's just all caps, AME-leadership. Bit.ly, AME leadership. By the way, this website, I'm going to show it to you. It has this whole entire slide deck in it. It has some links in it, and some other resources for you that we are going to use in the very few amount of minutes that we have left here. So I'm gonna bring this back up in a second. I'm gonna let those of you taking pictures of it take a picture of it. And let me click on it. Again, it's bit.ly AME leadership. This is what you get. This is the new Google Sites, by the way. It's very easy to make. Jeanine and I made this in about 15 minutes.
And Jeff's bit.ly, he can name it specifically because he has a little account.
That's right. So I was able to rename it.
And he can keep track of all his bit.lys.
So this is our slide deck. If you just click on it, it shows their slides. Down here at the bottom, you got a couple lesson plans. One's a completely empty template that we use for all of our PD for Artspiration and our STEAM team. It's a really in-depth, empty outline for lesson planning. We also have the same template over here on the right that's actually been filled out to the lesson that we ran you through today. So it's a very short, condensed version of just the basic lesson you guys just went through.
What if you get something with a sunset on it and it just says bit.ly?
I'm going to come back to that right there. It just means you didn't type it in properly. Has to be capital, has to have the dash. I tested it on my phone earlier at work, but if anybody's having issues, please let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be cap. Whenever you see a shortened URL, they're always case sensitive, so just count on it. Even if it's a Google shortener or Bitly or any of the other shorteners, they all are case sensitive. Okay, so the reason I wanted you to see that website, you're going to be using it. Right here, at the very top, you have National Core Art Standards. By the way, if you're not familiar with those, they're new. We've been on a couple years.
For about 3 years.
They're about to become the California state standards for art. They're going to replace the VAPA
Which
standards.
includes media arts. Yay!
Yeah, digital media is the new fifth discipline. They're going to change them a little bit, and they're in the process of tweaking them to make them California standards as we speak. So VAPA standards are no longer going to be what we talk about.
No worries. No worries.
Maybe by next year at the
You
same
can
conference, we
collaborate
won't be
with a
calling it
partner.
VAPA anymore. The next set of standards here are the CTE, Arts and Media Entertainment. These are the CTE standards. You got a booklet when you registered. Also, some of you came up and grabbed some of the booklets I had pre-printed. I have one more left here if anybody wants it. We are going to be using these at the end of the day, so we can have my other one. We're going to be using these. And there's another set of standards. These are the VAPA standards. Now, we're going to break into 3 groups. Here's what we're going to do. After I break into groups, I'll tell you what group you have. One group's going to get these standards. One group's going to get these standards. One group's going to get these standards. So you have to use the website to find them easy. And then you're going to find one of those big chunks of those big, beautiful pink Post-it notes that we have on the wall. We want you to write down any standards that you find that relate to the lesson plan today. The lesson plan today being this one, right here on the right, where it says Photojournalism Lesson Plan. I'm going to open it up so you can see it. I'm going to leave this open while we work. I'm going to go back a second so I can make sure you guys can find those standards. Don't worry. But I wanted you to see this lesson plan.
Nice hot
We just
pink
quickly
for you.
typed this up about the lesson that we ran you through with using the image as complex text, teaching you a little bit about rule of thirds, and having you go out and do a photojournalism assignment. So this is it. I'm going to leave up here, I'm going to come back to this, the learning targets. These are the learning targets. I can observe, wonder, infer using an image as complex text. I will understand how to understand and apply the rule of thirds in visual composition. I can create a single image photojournalism piece. I can post media and collaborate online via Padlet. And I can reflect on my work using a sentence frame. You've all done all that. So those were your learning targets today. Keep these in mind and find the standards that go along with these learning targets in the group that we give you, okay? I'm going to put this back up in a minute. I just want to make sure that you are able to find these standards that are at the top of this website right there. So, time to break you up into groups.
Woohoo!
So, you guys get these 2 Post-it notes, these 3 rows. You are all, what standards are they going to take, Jeanine?
They're going to do California Visual and Performing Arts.
You guys are VAPA standards. You can find the link on our website. You 2.
It's the blue link.
You 2 rows right here.
They're going to do the CTE, Arts and Media.
CTE standards, Arts, Media, Entertainment. It's the
In
booklet.
your book.
It's the booklet, and it's also on the link. These 2 rows, we actually are going to let you guys choose any standards you want from anywhere. All right. If you can find any, I think they don't even have to be these 3.
And they're doing the National Core Arts
They could be English
standards
language
in the
arts. They could be from the links. You guys get the National Core Art Standards, the top link on the website, and anything you find, you can write down. Now we're going to have to do this kind of quick, but hopefully you can brainstorm and get some standards written up there.
There's Post-its going around. You can write the standard on here, slap it on the wall. If you need Post-its, I'll throw them at you.
If you find one, it's like, ooh, that fits that lesson plan, then you want to write it up there. Just the standard. Any standards that you can find that identify, that match the lesson you just went through.
Yeah, you can just write them on.
Just write them by like A1.2.
Yeah, just write
just
it.
a brief description of what it is. Like maybe students will be able to, you don't have to write it out word for word.
Like 1.4 students
Yeah, whatever
will,
works for you.
slap it up
We don't
on
need
the
you to
wall.
write it all out. I'm going to go back to the lessons plan so you can see the learning targets. Right there's the learning targets that you're going to find the standards for.
All right. I got 8 minutes. We're good. We're good. No, we're good.
How much time are we giving for this?
Well, we were going to give them 7 minutes.
Okay. Less than that. Even if you could just get 1 or 2 written down, it'd be great. So you guys are doing the National Core Arts Center.
How are you doing,
First
Robbie?
link on the website.
Good.
National Court Art Standards. And hopefully you can find, maybe you can find, he's got them open right here. Maybe you can find one or two, in the next couple minutes and get them on the board.
Do you want this, the whole standard?
Just
No,
like
whatever you can write so it's identifiable.
Yeah.
Write down whatever you want to identify. You don't need to write everything out word for word.
What?
Okay.
Digital image.
So go to bit.ly /capital AME.
A lot of these are
AME dash leadership, capital leadership. It's all
Nice. Thank you.
whenever you use a shortener, it's always case sensitive. All right. This group is really running circles around the rest of you guys over here. Come on.
Woo, woo, woo.
Their standards have been around a lot longer than the rest of ours.
They probably have them memorized. I just need a couple minutes to talk about this.
They have 15 minutes passing, so if we run over a couple minutes,
Yeah,
it should be okay.
And we might just tell them we're going to run 2 minutes over.
Okay. Sounds good, Jeff. Woohoo. All right.
We can see at least 2 on each.
I'll get these up there
That's probably
for you.
good for today's discussion.
All right.
Ooh, there's a couple.
I'm on my feet. It's all good. Yeah. Nice.
All right. If this was a room with tables and we had a lot more time, I
That's
would have asked you to
probably,
really dive into those standards
CTE-LA,
and talk
right?
about them a little bit.
All right.
And then share out with us a group, what did you notice about that group of standards? But we don't have time for that kind of conversation.
That's another word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing things quick and dirty today. I apologize for that.
And we need to go over our post-it
Maybe
pad.
ask them to just talk about a couple and maybe the process, and I'll make sure everybody knows what the standards look like.
Okay, do you want me to have,
I'll pull the standards themselves up.
why don't I just have Hector stand and read those, and
Sure.
I'll have her stand and read
Perfect.
those, right?
Okay.
Rather than getting up.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I know that's not enough time.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
It serves the purpose of the exercise.
You got the first one up there. You get, yes, you get more. Rather than getting up and walking around the room, I'll just ask people closest to the boards to speak to them. So.
Let's start with the VAPA.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull
What's
the
your
standards
name?
that they're
I'm
talking
trying
about.
to read your name tag. Is it right?
You couldn't read it anyway. It's Regina.
Regina. Okay. Would you mind reading a couple of those out loud for the group?
4.4, articulate process and rationale. 2.1, solve a visual art problem. 2.5, create expressive composition.
These are the VAPA standards?
Yeah.
I might be good.
You're good, yeah.
Okay. 1.1, identify principles of design, discuss, analyze, and write about art.
Cool.
Last but not least, 3.2, identify role and influence of technology on art.
Thank you. Those who haven't seen, these are California Department of Education. This is the visual art standards from VAPA.
It's just the high school
You want to make sure
proficient
that
ones,
you
yeah.
see what they look like. That's part of this process, so everybody sees all these standards. Let's go to the next group.
All right, how about up here in the front, we have
This is CTE, right?
CTE. Who,
I'll read them.
I'll
okay,
pull those
thank you.
standards up.
Camille's going to read them.
I didn't put the numbers.
That's
but
okay.
Demonstrate skill in manipulating digital imagery. Create a product with elements of art. Use technology to create a variety of electronic products and presentations. Demonstrate personal style in communicating ideas. View and respond to industry-related products.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
Love
you.
the CTE standards.
You guys.
We have lots of
you guys had
questions on
three
that.
reins here.
So.
So.
We had a Mod Podge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we looked at ELA standards, and one of them was to create a thesis statement.
ELA.
Another ELA standard was to follow procedures using multi-level tasks, which that was.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one was integrating and evaluating information in diverse media format.
Beautiful. Those are awesome.
Then CTE, using info technology to synthesize and summarize. Another CTE was to cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support analysis of what text is saying as
Regina.
inferences from the photo. then another one is analyze material used by a given artist and describe how it influences the meaning of work. And then that's not one you just read. Then there's another one.
Thank you. That's
Okay.
great.
Thank you,
getting
Amy.
the ELA in there. And then the last one, National Core Art. Grab your those and pull those up. What did you guys find?
Rodney, can you read those for us?
Visual arts creation 1.1.7 applied methods to overcome creative blocks. Document early stages of the creative process visually or verbally in tradition or new media. Let's see, two of them are same ones here. Shape an artistic investigation of an aspect of present day life using a contemporary practice or art or design. Apply knowledge of available technologies to investigate personal ideas through the art making process.
Thank you. That's good enough. Thank you so much. We're just running out of time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You guys, give yourself a hand for doing that really quick.
Rodney.
I'm going to ask you guys to let us go like 3 minutes over. Okay? We have 15 minutes passing time, and I won't be offended if anybody walks out. But let me point out just a couple really important things before we debrief this whole day. First of all, if you haven't seen these, this is really cool because these are probably going to be very much like our new standards. When you go down to the bottom of the website, you can click on here, and you literally, in just a few clicks, create your own custom book that you download, and it's all the standards you would ever teach. You don't have to ever worry about all those other standards that have nothing to do with your class.
You can make
customize
it
your own book instantly.
just for you.
And you'll see some terminology on here like EQ and EUs and EQs. That's essential questions and essential understandings, just so you know. This is the one that I really want. Who has not seen this before? I mean, it was in your registration packet, right? Let me give you a quick one-on-one. What is it? 101 CTE standards. When you see any of the 15 industry sectors, they all have a similar looking cover with different colors. They all have a big circle which represents the icon of that industry. Then they all have a certain number of bubbles underneath. That's how many pathways are in that industry. How many pathways in AME? 4. You can tell that fast.
Woo, woo.
So most teachers will pick one pathway that they focus most of their curriculum on. And then once you, like if it's C, production and managerial arts, you would go to C. But here's what makes this so powerful, which is why you all have it in your packages. These CTE standard booklets have an academic alignment matrix. Once you see the tables start. This is the academic alignment matrix. They've already discovered all the English language art standards, the next generation science standards, the math, Common Core, it's all in here, already decided for you. So if you were used to this and you were in the group that I gave the CT, you could have, if I gave you enough time, you could have filled this thing up with all these other standards just by identifying the ARP standards that we use today. So it's really important that you understand that. So if anybody wants this last booklet, it'll be right up here. We have just a couple more things and we're good to go. So thank you for sticking around.
Yeah, we're great.
Back to our slideshow.
We did that. We did that.
You did that.
We're doing that.
Are there any ahas you had today or questions?
Lots of practical.
Lots of practical stuff.
Things to do.
So
yes.
I want to just talk about equity because I think equity is a big part of what we are trying to do with arts, media, and entertainment. First of all, when you use digital media in a classroom, you let students, as simple as take a photograph to tell a story, you're allowing, you're sort of leveling the playing field with their storytelling abilities. And when you have students do collaborative conversations and talk about their work with sentence frames, they're having collaborative conversations on an academic level. They're hearing other students talk. They're asking questions they wouldn't ask in front of the class. That's helping them learn their language. That helps with access. When you bring in digital media in any classroom, whether it's math or English or language arts, we know that it gives more engagement and more creativity to the students, which helps with equity and access. And also, I believe arts themselves allow so much integration and allows you to break things up in a way that's more meaningful and personal to the students, which gives more access to the academic content. Now, by mixing these standards together, we get a more powerful version of why we're teaching what we're teaching. You know, those big essential questions as teachers, what are we teaching our students and why? That's the first question that we ask ourselves, and there's the reason why right there. All those standards tell us that we should be teaching those students. This booklet's been around since 2010, so this is the 7th year into these standards. So I really hope that we get deeper into, if we're not a CTE teacher, understanding these standards, because there's a lot of powerful stuff in here that does connect students to the real world application of art, and vice versa. If you're a CTE artist, understand these other standards because they're going to help you get that high quality art technique and skill out of your students and a different way to look at what you're teaching your students and why. Yes?
On that previous slide where you said show the custom, does that apply to, that one website apply to other standards as well?
That's for the National Core Art Standards only.
They have media arts on there. There's different tracks of media arts in there.
What I'm saying is different industry sectors.
Not yet.
For anybody who has time,
Not
this is
yet.
another example A last example for you, this is a 321 exit ticket. So I'll pick this back up. If you have time to click this up, you'll actually be able to help us out with some feedback. But if you don't have time, I just want you to see it. I use this every day in my class when I talk video production. 3 things you learned today, 2 questions you have, and 1 thing that you'd like to learn more about. And I get a spreadsheet. So if you have time, please enter that right there into your device and answer those 3 quick questions. And thank you so much for your time today. Jeanine and I really appreciate it.
Yay.